People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube, people are elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. And Anago has been selling out really quickly. Anago traditionally has plantain skins, cocoa nibs, cocoa butter, and let's see, soy short and olive oil. And it's a small cooked batch. Usually I yield 6 to 7 bars, and because it's a 6-hour cook and it takes time, so forth and so on. Well, because of how fast it's been selling, it is now going to be, instead of a 18-ounce batch, it's going to be a 48-ounce oil weight. And it will still have the cocoa butter, the olive oil, but I'm adding coconut oil and canola oil to it. So it will still be vegan. It will still be vegetarian, no animal products. And it still will have the plantains. It will still have the cocoa nibs because I ground all that up the last time I made it. So what I am essentially doing differently, since it's going to be a cold process, I already heated up the oils, melted down the cocoa butter. It's over there being hotter than I can actually touch. So while that's hot, I'm going to add the plantains and the cocoa nibs. So that way it has still an infusion of the oils and the plantain in the form of a ground up powder along with the cocoa nibs. And then I'm going to let it cool down. I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it overnight. And then if I have to remelt anything, I'll do that in the morning or much later tonight. And then add the lye water solution, and it's going into the individual molds still, but it's just going to be a lot more of it. So instead of 6 to 7 pieces, I have enough molds for 3 dozen. So yeah, well, let me show you that so you know what I mean. See, usually the Anago takes up just this part of the mold, but I have 3 of these, so yeah, that'll give me 3 dozen depending on how it pours, because I'm just going to fill up each cavity. But with it being a 18-ounce oil weight, after I add the lye water solution, depending on what the lye calculator says is the proper amount of liquid, I might end up with as much as 64 ounces. So yeah, it kind of pays to have extra molds available just in case. All I know is it will certainly be more than what I've been making, but supply meets demand. As a cold process, it will need to cure for 4 weeks. So since I have 2 Anagos left, I'm going to go ahead and make a cold process version and let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks, so that way by the time someone wants the new Anago, and I'll go ahead and change the website now so that way the new ingredients are added to it, but I'm just letting you be up to date. That's actually how I made it originally before I learned how to do a hot process. And hot process allows you to have soaps now. You know, it's a 6 hour cook, but the soaps are literally ready as soon as it cools down and comes out the mold. I still give it a week or two to cure as a hot process because even with all that steam and all that, even though it's technically ready, which means all the lye has been cooked out and the soap molecules have had a chance to become soap, I still like the concept of curing it, giving it time to, amalgamate into its new format. So basically, it's just going to be cold process. It's still done in 1 day for the saponification, but the cure time is longer. So that way, when a customer wants a nacho, I don't have to say, oh, well, somebody ordered 4, I only have 2 left. I'll have enough to supply the need, and then, and I mean, I've already done the math and the oil weight and all that. So basically, this is 4 times the amount that I usually make. Well, actually, no. 4.5 times the amount I usually make. So that way I will have enough to supply the demand. So that's what I'm doing today. Also, I am going to make, well, no, I can't. I was going to make another batch of dish soap bar too, but that uses this same set of molds. So the Anago today, wait till they come out of the molds and then put them on the curing rack and let them cure for 3 to 6 weeks. And the dish soap bar will be tomorrow when I make a batch of it. That's already a cold process, so I already know the curing time on that. And then we're going to have a hanger swirl of unicorn wishes. I was calling it unicorn dream. I don't know where I got that name from. I'm thinking there was another scent by that name in the past, but when I typed in unicorn dream to, maybe get a bigger batch of it, it drew a blank and said, please try again. And so I picked up the bottle and looked at it and said, oh, wishes. Duh. But this stuff smells heavenly. It's almost like it's a whimsical mix of fruit and musk and flowers. And yeah, that's practically the color scheme. It's not going to have a unicorn or any embed that looks like a horn because of the simple fact that I can't make those. Those are traditionally made with melt and pour and specialized molds that you have to buy ahead of time. And I have traditional molds because I make traditional soaps. But it will have my butterfly. I now have another butterfly stamp. You can see that. It is not as big as the one that was custom carved for me. This is made out of acrylic, but it still works. It's a butterfly, and I'm people of the purple butterfly, so I can now put a butterfly on my soaps again. So this is just an update of what's going on in my soapy little world. This has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. I'm finna get busy doing this. And y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye now. People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, people elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. And today I'm gonna make a cold processed version of Anago black soap. I have in here a reformulated recipe. So instead of soy short, it now has coconut oil, olive oil, cocoa butter, and, well, hold on, let's be sure. The cocoa butter, olive oil, the soy short has been replaced with coconut oil and canola oil. It still has the cacao nibs and it still has the ground plantains. Speaking of which, as you could tell, or maybe you can't, I'll bring it over closer. It's been infusing in the oil, and all those good bits are still in there. It still has that nice earthy smell. There is no fragrance oil, and there's no coloring in this soap. Let me get the lye water. This is going to be a quick batch because it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm sleepy, and I gotta watch my grandson tomorrow. So these are now going to go into many of these instead of just the one. And I'm literally going to bring it to trace, pour it, and let it rest for 3 weeks. Well, actually 4 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. There's some production debris in there. That's why I always use a strainer. There we go. Now, let me separate these out. I think I'm only going to need 2, but I might need all 3. You can see the little pieces of plantain and the cocoa nibs. completely ground up, but as you can see, some of the pieces of plantain are getting stuck on the blade of the stick blender. That's fine, because I can always use a chopstick to, you know, scrape that off of there after it's disconnected from the power source. Instead of being dark brown like it is when you cook it, it's going to be this lighter color brown, and during the saponification process, it might darken up or deepen it. It's taking a while to come to trace. Smells amazing. Let's hope all these bubbles aren't going to be in the top of it. Definitely pass emulsion, but I want to trace. Single color recipes that have no fragrance oil, no color and all that, you don't have to worry about emulsion, just get it to trace and pour it. So that's what I'm doing. I want a thicker trace than that. I also want to incorporate the stuff that's still on the spatula, so we're just going to go ahead and stir that in. And then I also give enough rest where the bubbles can dissipate. Looks kind of like pudding. It's a light trace. I want it thicker. something was making this rhythmic click, click, click sound. And come to find out that's the curtain slamming against the, well, the wind is blowing it for the, well, the AC is blowing it. It's making that sound. In case you can't see, I overflowed the cavities a little bit, so now I'm just spreading it to the other cavities, so that way they can all get filled up. And there's something making the surface a little bit uneven, so I'll move that in a minute, so that way everything can be nice and flat. This is now going to go over here. I see. Yeah, that bag was a little lumpy. Actually had to fold it. Let me just move these out the way. This is a special formula I'm working on for a particular soap. It's got cloves and lavender, pigmented, and it smells yummy, but it has a very specific purpose. Now it's much easier to even out. One dozen done. Let's go to the next dozen. as many as I could get. It's a 48-ounce oil weight. It's all in that 1 dozen. And this is what's left over from the pour, shall we say. I love the earthiness of black soap. That smell is unmistakable. No one's going to go, oh, what you making? Does anybody knows black soap go, oh, you made black soap? They know that scent. I think I'm going to get one of these containers, but round instead of square. That way, it'll be easier to scrape out. So what's the purpose of having a professional container if it annoys you? You know what I mean? I mean, it does scrape out cleaner, but yeah. Let's get these pages. And I'll be right back. There. Now we'll just scrape this right on into there. Nothing left behind, you know. I swear that air conditioner used to run so quietly that except for the temperature, you couldn't tell it was even running. Now I can hear it all the time. I'm gonna call up maintenance and see if it's a filter issue or why is it making noise all of a sudden. Because at this point, I'm just willing to turn it off can deal with the temperature instead of listening to that. There. All filled up. There's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Much more than I usually get. Usually it's the batch when it's hot processed only has 6 bars. So yeah. This has been Pizza7 on Twitter and YouTube, Pizza elsewhere on the internet. My soaps locate PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, PurpleButterfly-Pizza.blogspot.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.